Welcome to The Blade Job. I am your host, James Ryan Trainer. I am joined today with the lovely Thomas H. Collins. And, of course, high voltage Scott Perkins.
Sup?
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/TheBladeJob. Of course, Twitter @The Blade Job Show. Where can we follow you boys?
You can follow the one and only THC Thomas H. Collins at Blade Job Collins.
High voltage Scott Perkins can be followed at High Voltage 1987.
And of course, don't forget to check out the website, thebladejob.com, that we're actually releasing content on. It's a lot of fun. Please subscribe, like, share. This is YouTube. You're probably watching it there right now.
Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies, tell everyone.
Yeah, no, everyone. We want to hear from all of you.
Tell that stranger down the street.
Tell your mom
Absolutely.
I said hi.
We have a fantastic episode. Enjoy The Blade Job.
Hey, everybody out there
Action.
in Radio Land, Podcast Land,
Yep.
Podcastville in Radio Land.
Podcast, yeah, the village of podcasts in the land of radio.
This is my favorite intro we've ever done.
This is not a good one.
No, it's hands down the best thing we've ever done.
So anyway,
Yeah, doesn't mean you're good.
yo, how about it snowed out last night? It's been cold. There's a dead tree in my living room. You know what that means? Fucking Wrestle Kingdom's around the corner.
It is.
And guess what? This year's, well, I mean, none of them suck, but this year's really isn't going to suck. I'm pretty sure every match is going to be awesome.
But before we talk about that, who are we?
Oh, now we're doing an intro?
Well, we
That's
still
what
got
our bumper's for.
Yep.
Oh, we... High Voltage Scott Perkins, High
Are we
Voltage
doing that right now, too?
1987 on Twitter.
Didn't know we were doing that right now, too.
Thomas, you got to calm down.
I am calm.
Thomas H. Collins.
Hey!
Your name sounds really...
Mr. Big!
Mr. Big.
Voice!
That's Handsome Dan.
Handsome Dan.
Mr. Big was the guy in the limousine.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Swing back through Chicago.
So, yeah, New Japan's January 4th show, which has been called Wrestle Kingdom for 12 years, is happening.
It's the 12th anniversary.
But it's like the, what,
Fuck you, Michael Cole.
30th anniversary of the event?
Of the 12th. I don't know. It's Wrestle Kingdom 12. It happens at the Tokyo Dome on January 4th, which for myself and probably most people who listen to this, it's going to be at I think it's 3 a.m.
Yep. Oh, don't worry, the pre-show starts at 1:30.
Cool.
So, we're
So yeah, I'm definitely taking that day off of work.
Yeah. So we're doing it at your house, right?
No.
Why not?
So house.
No.
We're doing it here. You guys don't have children.
Neither does he.
Well, that's why we're not doing it at my house, because I have kids. And my wife will
I'll argue about this later.
beat
All right.
all of us up.
Don't care. That's your problem. We can leave.
I don't know. You ever see a Bronx Tale where the bikers come in and then the mobsters lock the
So,
door?
Wrestle Kingdom.
Now you can't leave. It's good. You should see it. Joe Pesci's in it.
Yeah. No. I get it.
Robert De Niro.
No, yeah. We know. We know the movie. I have IMDb.
Do you know the movie?
Sure.
That's good. Yeah. So Wrestle Kingdom. There's some pretty good matches on the card. The Killer Elite Squad is taking on LIJ, Sonata and Evil for the IWGP Tag Team Championships. Any thoughts on that one, boys?
No.
Davey Boy Smith Jr. looks fucking exactly like his dad. Direct
Yes.
clone.
No, actually, I think it's actually the same person.
It is Davey Boy Smith.
He went forward in time.
It's weird. It's because of the time zone changes.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's 'cause
okay.
the international date line.
yeah.
It's in the Pacific, and Japan
Went back to
has
the date.
technology because they invented Nintendo. Yeah.
That doesn't sound right, but I don't have any proof to
I don't know
refute your
enough to
argument.
dispute that, so we're gonna go with it.
So yeah, that match should be pretty good. Not a big fan of Sonata. Evil's kind of cool. He's like a bargain bin Japanese version of the Undertaker. Lance Archer looks kind of like a tool.
You know what's going to be really cool?
What?
Little Young Bucks versus Roppongi 3K.
That'll be awesome.
That's gonna be
Yo
good.
and Show. I mean, it kind of sucks because that's basically New Japan's only fucking 2 junior tag teams.
Yeah, that's a thing that they have this title, and they don't really have
So wait,
a lot
what's
of
the
teams.
Yeah.
what's the deciding factor for the junior heavyweight division?
According to Wikipedia, which is never
I
wrong,
mean, your general knowledge of wrestling.
my general knowledge of Wikipedia,
Okay.
it's 220 pounds per person. Like each guy can.
Okay.
Oh, it's not a
weigh-
combined weight. It's not like 14-year-olds wrestling.
No, 220 pounds per, and I mean it's wrestling, so it's probably
Bullshit.
Okay, you're not fat. You can be in this. I'm pretty sure at this point Liger probably weighs more than 220 because he's old. But
Dude, he's only like in his, 50s? Come on.
he's only like 75.
Yeah. Hey, Terry Funk. He could be a cruiserweight.
Fucking crazy grandpa.
I wish he was my grandpa.
No, you don't.
Oh my god, I do. I don't have a grandpa.
I'm my own grandpa. Remember the Stupids movie?
I was gonna go with Futurama, where Fry was his own
Fry
grandfather.
is his own grandpa. That's
Yeah.
true. He did do the nasty and the pasty.
Verily.
Oh, this is my favorite episode already.
IWGP Intercontinental Championship. Tanahashi, the champion, versus Jay White. I don't really know much about Jay White. It can't be that bad of a match if Tanahashi's in it because he's pretty fucking good. We also have
I like Jay White. I haven't seen too much. Most of his stuff is New Japan.
He's a
with some Ring of Honor.
Kiwi.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that considered a racist term?
I fucking hope not. I call all my Kiwi friends Kiwis quite often.
All right then. So I mean, must
Ollie,
be cool.
if you're listening, can you please let us know?
Hey,
Call
does
call
Ollie
into the
listen?
show.
Probably not.
Well,
He lives in Australia.
Call
him
into
on
the
this
show.
shit.
The lines are open right now.
Yeah.
yeah,
Ollie. Hello, I'm Ollie.
yeah. His calls
He
live.
actually sounds like that.
We'll get calls later.
Anyway, the Ring of Honor World Title match, which
Don't worry.
I don't want to. Yeah. So spoilers.
No, let's not. Just in
okay.
case.
Kota Ibushi versus Cody Rhodes. Yeah, match is gonna be awesome.
I think it's really cool that they are defending the Ring of Honor Championship over there. I just think that's something that makes me happy. You know, I mean, obviously with WWE, you're never, ever, ever going to see the WWE Championship defended at New Japan or anywhere. It's the best we're ever going to get is the UK Championship being defended at Progress.
Yeah.
But I really dig that the fact that you can watch this one event and see two world titles.
Yeah, that's true.
And not because there's two stupid brands because they have a shallow roster and they have no idea what's going on.
IWGP Junior Heavyweight
Jinder Mahal.
Anywho,
title match is a match. What is a match that I'm very much looking forward to? You have the champion, the 79th champion, Marty Scurll, the villain.
He looks like one of the doctors from Assassin's Creed
That's true. He does.
That's where it first started.
Yes, that's where he got it from.
back in Italy.
Back in Italy, they had Xbox and
Will-
they had Assassin's Creed.
Ospreay is also challenging.
He is a cat.
He's a cat. Marty McFly, Kushida is going to be there.
That's a
and
really good match.
Hiromu Takahashi. It's a fatal four-way. It's going to be fucking bonkers because all four of those guys are really good.
We're going to see some of those awesome Japanese tables.
Yeah, it's just like a plank of wood.
Yeah, and they
look
don't
like
break
a locker
all the
room.
way.
Yeah, they look like a locker room bench almost,
Yeah.
but like a little bit taller. Yeah, they never like break the way you want them to break. You know, Kenny Omega's neck almost broke because, well, actually that was more of a slip on the tablecloth.
That was a couple months ago, right?
That was
Or was
that
that
was
last
the
month?
G1 Climax final.
Yeah, the G1
against Naito. Speaking of which,
Segway.
the IWGP Heavyweight Title match, which is the final match of the night, and according to Naito, the only main event. Which I think he's wrong about it.
He's absolutely wrong about that.
But Okada and Naito, you know that's going to be good. Naito lost the IWGP Heavyweight Championship to Okada. Okada's going to be defending it. It's going to be fucking awesome because they're both awesome wrestlers.
Now, before you go on, hold on. before we get to that, I know where you're going. Let's just stop that train real quick.
And move on completely.
And those are all the matches.
Thanks for joining us this week. All right. Let me throw a little something out there for you guys to argue about. Motherfucker.
That was the first swear of the episode. We went really
He's
far.
been swearing.
Have you?
Yeah, he said he calls all of his fucking Kiwi friends Kiwis.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's true.
Plus that
Racist
derogatory
prick.
term of Kiwi that he uses all the time.
So do you.
When? Yeah, we'll worry about that later. How do you feel about in Wrestle Kingdom, their biggest show?
It's not like a kingdom. It's not like an actual
Jesus
kingdom.
fucking Christ. Their biggest show, that is the only match between two Japanese wrestlers. I mean, there's that four-way that has a couple Japanese wrestlers, but
Two
it's
Japanese,
like
two English.
yeah, without a non-Japanese wrestler
So,
in it.
and
I
that-
guess would be a better way to phrase that question.
And that leads me to what we were talking about before. I feel that this year has been the biggest year for New Japan Pro Wrestling when it comes to their international market.
No. Let me ask. Why do you feel that way?
Where the fuck did that come
I
from?
don't know, man. That was harsh.
I was just asking.
He was asking. So
It was high on the levels, high on the DV.
I
I think,
have
for
been-
trash can to deal with.
I have been a fan of
Like
New
a
Japan
fucking dog
Pro
whistle.
Wrestling for many years. Obviously, back in the day, our only option was, importing DVDs or VHS tapes to see these matches because there was no YouTube and, well, there was no anything. Thomas H. Collins has left to go sneeze outside the studio, which I'm sure we can still hear.
Left the room to sneeze.
It was a single cough. I was just trying to be fucking professional and polite.
Yeah, okay.
That's why you go
Cunt.
under the table. You have a sound dampening
Carpet.
tablecloth.
No, we have the carpet because you keep tapping on the table.
So, I've been aware and I've been a fan of New Japan for many, many, many years. And even in the past couple of years, we've heard about, the great matches that have been happening at the G1 Climax. We've been hearing about these great matches that have been happening at Wrestle Kingdom. We've been hearing about all these great matches that have happened at all of these other shows. Yes, Scott, you have something to say?
No, I was just, it's an inside joke that I was giggling about in my head. It's inside my
Climax.
head. Yeah, G1 Climax 69 in a few years. Oh, like 40-something years, but I hope I'm
Jesus
alive to
Christ.
see that.
Jesus Christ.
You should have kept that inside your head.
Yeah, I was going
Why did
to.
I ask?
Yeah.
So,
It was just a
If you see me silently giggling to myself, just
And-
leave it alone.
Cut.
So-
New track. Go. Action. Speeding.
So now over the past
I'm going to buy that t-shirt.
couple of
Cut around that
years
meat.
with I hate to say it, but obviously the international success goes to what Mr. THC just said. There's a lot of white dudes there now. And it's really the Bullet Club. I feel like
Yes and no.
the Bullet Club did a lot for New Japan. Like
They've done a lot for wrestling in
general, no, absolutely, but especially New Japan, because I feel like they brought New Japan to an international market who wouldn't have necessarily been paying attention to them, because now all of a sudden there's names that they know in New Japan wrestling, and they can watch them. Now,
They are 1,000% the main reason why I got into it, because I saw so much stuff on, because when I got back into wrestling, I pretty much only watched WWE, and, then I would go on Reddit, and I would see, Kenny Omega this, and the Young Bucks that, and then I was like, all right, well,
who the fuck are these guys?
yeah, I didn't know who they were, so then I watched more of them, and then it's like, oh, these guys are really good. Oh, they wrestle in Japan? What else do they have in Japan? Now it's like the headlining show, Naito Okada, I'm excited as fuck for that, and that doesn't have any, any white guys,
absolutely.
because that match is going to be fucking silly. Like, those two guys, two of the best in the world going at it.
Absolutely. But I just want to point something out. So when I was growing up, I was actually having this conversation at work, real work, not this, the other day.
This is still real to me, damn it.
Ha! I see what you did there. I was actually reminiscing about flipping through the channels and landing on WUNI, I think was the channel. It was like channel 14 or 15 in Central Mass, and seeing ECW Hardcore TV for the first time.
That was on the Spanish channel, dude. I'm pretty sure. Wasn't that on the Spanish channel?
It could have been. I don't like.
It was.
This was
27.
We're talking about years ago at this point.
Fucking.
So, anyways,
20 years ago.
I remember landing on that, and at that time, there was WWF and there was WCW. That was it. And seeing ECW for the first time, and my earliest memory was the Dudleys putting Balls Mahoney through a flaming table, and
that doesn't sound like anything that's ever happened.
I know, right? And I had never seen anything like that.
Do the Dudleys use tables a lot?
Oh, they do.
Did Balls Mahoney take insane bumps that probably weren't safe for even him?
For life?
But
is he still alive?
Balls? No. I think Balls passed away last year or the year before.
That was Axl Rotten.
No, I'm pretty sure Balls might have as well. Yeah. Anyways, not important to the conversation right now.
Right.
Very important to his family if he did, because he was a fantastic performer. And I'm sure
I enjoyed all those old
So,
ECW.
anyways, the thing that ECW did, WCW did it a little bit as well. WWF didn't do it at all, in my opinion, was ECW especially showcased different styles of wrestling.
Yeah.
ECW gave us Japanese wrestlers that we'd never seen before. They gave us a lot of luchadors and Mexican wrestlers that we had never seen before. They brought in international talent to fill in their roster.
Yeah.
And to me, seeing those matches with like Yoshihiro Tajiri and Super Crazy in ECW was amazing, because I was like, I've never seen wrestling like this. These guys are an attraction. And I feel like in Japan, it's kind of the same thing. I'll use War Machine as an example. You've got Hansen and Rowe, who are an attraction to Japanese people because it's something very different than what they've seen. At least, unless they're old enough to remember like Andre and Hulk back in the day.
And Vader.
And Vader, stuff like that back in the day. But still, when it was kind of like, these guys come in and they are practically overnight sensations in Japan.
Yeah, because Japan doesn't have too many like giant Vikings.
Exactly. I mean,
they tend to be short.
At the end of the day, professional wrestling traces its roots back
west,
to.
not east.
Hey, I'm talking here. At the end of the day,
shit, you're always talking.
Fuck off. Professional wrestling traces its roots back to carny sideshows.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. They literally are a dance monkey dance kind of thing. They were freaks back then.
James Trainer obviously means that in the nicest way possible.
I do. However, it's a fucking sideshow.
However,
it's naughty boy underwear tickling. Like
it's always been a sideshow.
Yeah.
It's the terminology used is still from a sideshow. The term mark is from carnies who are trying to steal your money. It's just the way it is. And when you go to Japan, they have a very different culture, obviously, than we have here in the U.S. And they have very different, beliefs on things. And you see all of a sudden this. How tall's Hansen? He's probably like 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, they're tall. They're not overly
he's
tall.
Not super. I mean, I'm
like 5'6", so he's very tall.
But I've stood next to him, and I didn't feel like Hansen was overshadowing me like when I stood next to like Dijak, and I was like, Jesus Christ, you're tall.
Yeah.
But especially they see these guys and they're larger than life. It's like when we were kids and we were watching Vader and Yokozuna and The Undertaker.
You met Goldberg when he came to the mall, right?
I met Goldberg when I was like 13 fucking years old, maybe even younger. I don't remember.
I think we're the same age, right?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, I think I was in 7th grade. I was in middle school.
Yeah. I was wearing a cool puffy like Patriots jacket. I still have the picture
Probably,
somewhere.
yeah.
And Goldberg Goldberg stood next to me like
he's wearing a cool
Goldberg
Patriots
didn't even
hat.
stand up. Goldberg didn't even stand up, and I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy's huge. I remember meeting Nash a couple of years ago, and I sat down next to him to take a photo, and sitting down, he was still a foot taller than me.
Yeah.
Like, It was, it's this larger than life thing. And a lot of these American guys that are going over to Japan, they're doing it to make a name for themselves, because over there, Hansen and Rowe are like those superhero characters from the 80s in the WWF. They're larger than life. There's something extremely different. Like, wrestling was always cool when we were a kid, because when was the last time you saw a dude with fucking multicolored tassels running around flipping out and shaking the rope? It was crazy. Yeah.
He's talking about the Ultimate Warrior.
I am talking about the Ultimate Warrior.
They played his theme song at the Bruins game the other night.
That's kind of cool.
It was awesome.
Let's, though, go to the actual
to the words?
Main event of Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I'm calling it, because I read it on the internet, the match of a lifetime.
It's
because I read it on the internet.
Because I read it on the internet. It is a match, and I'm gonna preface this by saying I do not fucking care who wins. I don't care about the outcome of this match at all. It's clearly a work. They are two good friends.
Canadians.
Same city. They're both from Winnipeg.
All Canadians are
Manitoba?
because there's only like 20 of them.
That's true.
They play hockey.
That's true.
They all
Also
do.
true.
Tim Hortons.
Rush.
Timmy Hose.
I fucking love Rush.
Yeah, I love that rush I get when I do a bunch of coke.
Ultimate Warrior?
Yeah.
When I do a bunch of Ultimate Warrior. No, so anyway.
When I pull an Ultimate Warrior.
Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho.
IWGP United States
IWGP US Championship.
Alpha versus Omega.
Yes, a match between two Canadian men taking place in Japan for the US Championship. Anyway, it doesn't fucking
Let that sink in.
It doesn't matter at all who wins. I don't fucking care. I've said it before, I've said it many times. Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania 25, in my opinion, is the best match that ever happened. This match is going to be better. This match, this has the potential to be the best match of all time.
It really does.
Without a doubt. Because you have Chris Jericho, despite creeping up there in age, is still better than fucking probably anyone right now.
Would you say
he's
the greatest of all time?
Not of all time, but for guys,
he's not the greatest of all time, but he's better than anyone.
better than
what he's
anyone
saying.
who's wrestling
Would you mean
right
he's
now.
better than Shawn Michaels?
Well, no, because he's not the greatest of all time, but he
At
is better
this point
than
in
anyone.
time, yes,
Jesus
I
Christ,
would
get your
say
story
that Chris
straight.
Jericho wrestles better than Shawn Michaels currently at this point in time. Overall, no, I still think Shawn Michaels is a better wrestler, but
We can argue about that on an
this is
episode that we've
backtracking.
already released.
yes.
Quit backtracking.
So anyway, but
can
Kenny
argue about that in the
Omega
past.
in 2017, I'm just going to take a sample of 4 matches. 4 matches which on Meltzer's scale could get a possible rating of 20 at the most. All of those 4 matches are total, probably, I think it's like 24 and a half. He had a pretty good year. He's a very good wrestler.
He's all right.
He's pretty fucking good. He had like a 6-star and a 5.75 star match within 24 hours. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he's all right.
So he's gonna wrestle Chris Jericho. It's gonna be really fucking good. And I don't know. If you don't watch it,
You're a dick.
you're fucking dumb.
Yeah.
You're
Take
right.
that.
Like
You
Jericho.
fucking wiener.
Take that, people who are sleeping at 3 a.m.
I mean, you
Jericho
can watch it on
is
replay.
No.
on the 11th on Access TV. Fuck that.
Or you can just watch it on your fucking phone.
Watch it
That's
right
true.
away, kind of like how we watch the new Star Wars right away. Oh, wait, did you not see that yet?
So, as you are right, Jericho is creeping up there in age. I think he's 46 right now.
47. Because his birthday was not long ago.
Oh,
We
yeah.
looked this up. We looked
did.
this up like
we do this
weekly.
every time. So,
Because you guys have this argument every time.
I think that
About how old Chris Jericho is.
About who's better.
Jericho has maintained his athleticism in the ring his entire career. Obviously, there's a huge difference between 23-year-old Chris Jericho and 47-year-old Chris Jericho. But I think this is going to be something that's going to unleash the Lionheart out of Y2J kind of thing.
Corazon de Leon.
He has not wrestled a match outside of WWE in 20 years. This will be his first match back to arguably the place that made his career. Because if it wasn't for his time in Japan, he wouldn't have been signed to ECW, which means he wouldn't have gone to WCW, which means he wouldn't have gone to WWF, which means he wouldn't have been the greatest of all time.
Means he wouldn't have gone back to New Japan.
Full circle shit. You know,
Life
and
finds a way.
everything that
Thanks, Jeff
I've
Goldblum.
read
You're
about
welcome.
the background of this match is Jericho saw Omega, saw him wrestle, and said, man,
We
it
could
would
make a
be
lot of loonies on this.
really-
Get it? They're both Canadian. Boom!
It would be really
That's
cool
what
to
they call
wrestle
their
him.
dollar.
And because what did he say? It was the McGregor-Mayweather fight. He was like, they're going to make a ton of money. I bet the two of us could make a ton of money.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a work if I've ever seen
Oh,
a
no,
work.
absolutely.
And, you know, I don't give a fuck. I'll give them all of my
Oh,
money because
fuck
it's
yeah.
going to be awesome. You know, they're making Alpha Club shirts
Yeah.
now that you can now get at Hot Topic, just like you can get Bullet Club shirts. And it's like, gee, I wonder how they managed that one. They were probably like, hey, can we do this? And yeah, obviously. They're
Well,
just,
Bullet Club does all their stuff exclusively through Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yeah,
which is the hugest contract I think any upstart company has ever had.
if you buy a Bullet Club shirt at Hot Topic, it has Pro Wrestling Tees
Yeah.
printed in the
And they get the same royalties if you buy it in Hot Topic as if you bought it on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Oh, really?
I that's what I understand.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, maybe there's an extra like 5 or 10% taken out for
Yeah,
Hot
I
Topic.
mean, obviously they.
You know, or maybe PWTs takes the hit because
Some-
they're all about
somebody's
supporting the
going to-
wrestlers.
yeah.
Like we are. We support professional wrestlers.
Yeah, I bought Joey Ryan a beer one time. That was pretty cool.
Fucking that's true support.
Actually, no, it wasn't a beer because I was buying them all Gansets and he wanted a cider, and I was like, okay, Joey Ryan.
You know what? For you, Joey Ryan.
You, Joey Ryan, I will spend $5 on a cider.
How about
Martin Stone, you
support
get a
professional wrestling.
$2.50 beer.
So Jericho
Thanks
Omega
for all the memories.
match of a lifetime. Now I know you don't care who wins. I personally don't care either.
It's all fake.
What?
We're all gonna win.
Right,
all
What
win.
the
we're all
fuck did
gonna
you
win.
just say?
So it's still real to Tom Tomb. What's your fucking name?
Way to try and say it's still real to me while just
Not
pulling back
knowing
the
what's
curtain at
going
the same
on.
time.
So
Tom's not his real name.
What? I think every other time he's used my real name.
the Undertaker.
Yes.
So okay.
Fuck.
How do they book this? Is this being booked by Jericho and Omega, or is this being booked by New Japan?
Jericho and Omega, 100%. They probably went to New Japan and said, hey, we want to make you guys a lot of money because we want to do this.
Well,
Us two friends want to do this fun
the
thing together.
current booker or owner of New Japan was Jericho's tag team partner.
Is it a Noki?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
In the fucking late 80s.
Yeah, they were probably like, hey, Tonio, which is the weirdest name for a Japanese guy.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
why
think
not?
it's his real name.
So,
Jushin Thunder Liger, also not his real name.
really?
What?
What the fuck? So anyways,
You're being a real dick today.
so obviously
Giant Baba is his real name, though.
Thank God.
there's two ways to do it. Is this Jericho putting over younger talent, which he does all the time? You know, even if they're not, you know, younger. He put over Styles. He put over Punk. He put over Owens. He puts over guys all the time.
I don't know if it's him putting him over. I think it's like a showcase match of just like, hey, we're both really fucking good at
Well,
this.
hold on. This is what I want to say. Is this Omega solidifying himself as the next big thing, or is this Chris Jericho's homecoming? When he wins the biggest match he's ever had in New Japan, you know, as his last match in New Japan, because he's probably not going back. I'm assuming this is a one and done deal.
It's for the championship though.
That's true. So if he wins,
So if he
he's gonna
wins,
stick
it's
around.
more than one. If he loses and it's a fucking 30-star match, then
Is this?
it's a win-win either way.
Well, we all know that WWE does have a working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Is this the start? Because they've gone out of their way to say that I didn't even ask Vince. This is none of their problem. That's not the relationship Jericho has with Vince McMahon. It's not I don't give a shit what he thinks. He's been very outspoken about how he respects Vince McMahon's opinion on almost everything in his career. Could this be a situation where, since WWE is now allowing a WWE championship, being the UK championship, defended in other promotions, could we see Jericho show up on WWE television with the IWGP United States Championship?
No, because everyone will say, oh, the WWE US Championship looks like shit.
Which they should have killed years ago. I'm sorry. We've said it before. I love WCW. It's time to just let it go.
I'm glad they got rid of the big gold.
I was too, because honestly, we were talking about this at work the other day. Do you think John Cena beats Ric Flair's record? I'm like, it doesn't matter. Even if he hits 16, Ric Flair is not a 16-time world champion. He's like a 27-time world champion.
He's Ric Flair.
Yeah. John Cena is great. He will never be Ric Flair.
I'm a fan of John Cena. I like, his character's stale and old, but as a wrestler, he's very good.
He's getting kind of stale and old.
As a human being, he's a fantastic
He's
like,
a goddamn
person.
Boy Scout.
Yeah, he's like a legitimately good person.
He would put down his $10,000 suit jacket to let an old lady cross over a puddle.
It's true. I don't know why she just can't go around, but...
Look, she's old, she's senile, she doesn't know what's going on.
Why doesn't he just throw her?
Like right over...
I mean, it's an old woman.
Yeah, she's probably pretty frail.
Pick her up with one
It's
hand.
80, 90, 100 pounds. Like, you think Cena can't throw 100 pounds across
I don't know
the
why
street?
he has to throw her.
Choke slam. It doesn't matter.
Why not
matters.
just pick her up and carry her and then set her down gently? It's
Anyways.
a 100-year-old woman.
We didn't say she was
Monsters.
100.
Oh, 100-pound.
Old. Anyways.
A 100-year-old woman would be old, though.
Yeah, are you saying I'm wrong?
True. Wrestle Kingdom is going to be amazing.
True, like he's wrong, or true, like
both.
Okay.
I think the further you dig into this, the worse it's gonna get.
Yeah.
So Wrestle Kingdom's gonna be awesome.
I think it's gonna both solidify Omega as like the next big thing because it's gonna be just an amazing match.
Yeah.
But it's also gonna be Jericho's, I don't know, homecoming, but like a huge match and kind of, like you said earlier, bringing out the Lionheart and Y2J. But I like to think that those are just byproducts of two guys wanting to put on a great match.
Yeah, it's
like,
not going to hurt either
That's
guy
not their
in
intentions.
Any way, no matter
Yeah,
what.
Win, lose, it doesn't matter to either.
It's a win-win-win-win-win.
Yeah. That'd be,
The referee even wins.
oh, when fucking
Everybody wins.
Google comes to Worcester, which they're
Yeah.
not.
Juggle.
Damn it.
Yeah, so I think those are just kind of byproducts of just two guys wanting to get together and put on an amazing match.
Yeah.
Do what they do best.
I hope so. I'm excited
do
to
it
see
best.
what happens. Honestly, at the end of the day, no disrespect to anyone on that card.
Respect.
That is the match that I need to see.
Yes.
As a Chris Jericho fan, I'm a fan of a lot of these guys that are on this card, but Chris Jericho, as we discussed in that episode that I'm sure everyone has listened to because it was fantastic, I love Chris Jericho. He may be my favorite performer of all time because I think he is the greatest
Right.
of all time.
So when we were talking best performer of all time, we were talking like objectively, not like who our favorite is.
Yes.
Right? Okay, good.
Correct.
Okay.
If we were just arguing who our favorite was, I mean,
Steve
that's
Austin.
actually even tough.
It's either Steve Austin or The Undertaker.
All right, we're going to have another round of this at some point. Anyways,
Well,
continuing.
no, because that you
Stay
can't really,
tuned, kids.
You can't really argue.
Yeah, stay tuned, kids, for all
Oh,
our fucking
you
nonsense.
think that now, but we'll find a way.
Damn it.
So, Wrestle Kingdom 12, that is January 4th from the Tokyo Dome. That is early ass in the morning.
It's in Tokyo, Japan.
It is in Tokyo, Japan. If you live on the East Coast like we do, it's at like 3 in the morning. You can figure out the rest based on where you live.
You can watch it
plus or
on New
minus some
Japan World,
hours.
which it's like 999 yen, which right now is like $8.50 a month. Cheaper than the WWE Network, and you get the sweet sounds of Kevin Kelly sometimes.
And
Sweet sounds.
and-
Kevin Kelly.
Cyrus the Virus.
Cyrus the Virus, Don Callis, who Chris Jericho beat up, and I was like, he's from Winnipeg too. They're all in on it.
Speaking of which,
It's a ruse.
just
If
real
Piper
quick,
was alive, Piper would fucking be there. Anyone who's ever been from Winnipeg, fucking the Winnipeg Jets will probably be there. It doesn't fucking
probably.
matter. I don't know.
Speaking of which, did you
They're
see?
just gonna show up.
Did you see Hanson going to break his wrist and then just flipping him off? Or was that
Yes.
Yeah, no, that was New Japan.
That was New Japan. That was like a week ago.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Jeff Cobb?
Quickly, yes.
It's just like Michael Elgin, but with the surfer hand.
Yeah, but now Michael Elgin is going through some
issues.
Yeah, so we're not going to talk about that.
No, we're not. But I don't know. I'm not a huge Michael Elgin fan to begin with, and then you just have another guy they wear the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Well,
you weren't there for Unbreakable fucking Machines versus EYFBO. Did you watch that on Powerbomb TV?
No. When was that from?
That was Apocalypse Dudes.
Okay.
Beyond Wrestling, Apocalypse Dudes.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
I'll watch that now. I'm on this episode.
It was a great fucking match.
Nah,
it was a good match.
Yeah. If EYFBO's in it, it's probably going to be
who are going to be in a TLC match against fellow team Pazuzu members Doom Patrol.
Yeah, it's going to be really
at the Beyond Wrestling Heavy Lies the Crown on New Year's Eve in Worcester, which is something I want to talk about real quick.
I won't be there because I have to host a party every year.
Yeah, not my problem. I'm going to be there.
I'll probably just put in a Powerbomb on my TV.
And watch it and ignore your guests.
Well, I mean,
fuck him.
Tom Collins is one of my guests, so yeah, fuck him.
Fucker. So, a lot of rumors floating around. Yesterday, NXT superstar Oney Lorcan, or whatever the fuck his name is in NXT. I can't ever pronounce his last name.
Oney Lorcan.
Lorcan?
It's like the Orkin Man, but with an L.
Anyways, let's just call him what he is, Biff Busick. New England wrestling legend, Biff Busick, the manliest man. So he posted a picture of a hand pointing upwards, emojis do things, a picture of a crown, and then the date 12/31.
That's New Year's Eve.
That is New Year's.
What, this year?
I think
Shut
next
up.
year.
Yeah, next year.
Oh. But then leap years come into play.
It's 12/32 next year, yeah.
Okay.
That's different.
All right.
So anyways, so as a joke, I, on Twitter, posted on his status, right after he posted it, that it was the confirmation that Biff Busick was returning to Beyond Wrestling on New Year's Eve, and that was awesome. I was joking. Apparently, this might actually be a thing, because both Beyond Wrestling, Rich Palladino, Dave Cole, a lot of other guys who are either friends with Busick or just have worked in promotions with him have also retweeted and posted that, and there have been a lot of things saying, where will you be on New Year's Eve? Now,
I'll be in Auburn.
I'll be in Worcester at Beyond Wrestling Heavy Lies the Crown.
That's at the White Eagle.
It is at the White Eagle. So, this to me means one of three things. This is some awesome fucking guerrilla promotion for Beyond Wrestling done by a friend of the promoter.
Option 2.
Biff Busick is going to be there because he is from the area and he's going to support his friends, and maybe he'll sign some autographs and hang out.
Letter C.
Option 3. Letter C.
Biff Busick is actually wrestling at Beyond Wrestling on New Year's Eve. Now,
number 4.
We only said 3. Now that brings up something that I want to talk about real quick.
Impress you guys.
WWE contracted performers showing up at indie shows. Now I know that when you get signed to the WWE, to NXT, whatever it may be, you are allowed to fulfill any independent dates you may have left.
Yes.
So you're allowed to continue doing the dates. Tommaso Ciampa was on the indies for over
Is he still injured?
Year. I'm not actually sure. I'm a little behind on NXT right now.
He's really good.
He was on the indies for almost a year, if not longer, after
just
he had
fought
debuted.
at Melrose. Stone.
Well, I'm curious about Martin Stone.
His situation is different. Him and a lot of the women who were in the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah,
it's very.
I think
odd.
I believe that Martin
Part-time.
Stone is essentially on
something.
loan from Progress.
They're all like very part time. Like you notice Martin Stone's not there every week, and you notice like half the women. I mean, they just called a bunch of women up to the main roster. So then I'm assuming
They're filling in NXT with Mae Young Classic performers.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so the question I'm having, and I'd actually like to to pick someone's brain when I get the chance, maybe Biff on New Year's Eve, is
It could happen. I don't know if you saw his tweet.
it could fuck off.
There's a finger and a crown.
Yeah,
Emoticons.
emojis.
What's an emoticon?
What's an
then?
emoji?
Emoticons are when it's like an actual, like you're using like the symbols.
Oh, there's an actual difference. I just thought it was
Yeah.
terminology.
No,
Like
that's
dot
different.
dot parentheses.
Yeah, that's an
Okay.
emoticon. An emoji is a stupid little fucking pictures that Apple.
Dumb. I'm gonna keep calling them emoticons.
You do whatever the fuck you want.
I just type using proper grammar and punctuation
No, you
like a
don't.
fucking adult.
No, you don't. Mm.
Yeah, no. Look at all.
No,
me.
nobody cares. So,
Are you gonna show the viewers?
I'm just gonna show you dicks.
can you screen cap and send it to me? I'll put it up.
Oh my god, no one cares.
I know, right?
It's our group chat, dude.
God, no one cares.
So what happens? Could say I'm going to use Busick as an example.
Yeah.
He signs with WWE. You know, because he's been there for a year and a half.
Around there, yeah, something like that.
So he signs with WWE, and he has dates left over. Could he say, for example, I have a date with Beyond Wrestling,
No.
and they say, okay, when is it? And he goes, I don't know, but I have one last date with the company.
Have some contract that says
Exactly.
I owe them this many
And then
shows or
he could
something.
just show up whenever. I'm curious about that because, you know, Dijak was very quick. Dijak was, you know, on the indies for his last dates, and then he was just gone.
Yeah.
Just really quickly, he was there, and then he wasn't. He's in NXT. That's it. Still not on television, but
That sucks.
I know, whatever.
So upset by that.
So I'm just really curious about if Busick shows up in Worcester for Beyond Wrestling. That would be really exciting to me. I'm a big fan of his. I remember my earliest memory of seeing him was a Chaotic Wrestling show in Hudson. To give you a time frame, Sasha Banks was still Mercedes KV, and she was challenging for the Chaotic Wrestling Women's Championship. So this was some time ago.
A couple years.
Busick has to me always been one of my favorite New England performers. He's very talented. He can take a beating like a champ, and he's entertaining. At the end of the day, he's just entertaining. So I'd be curious to find out what happens. Of course, you can check that out, powerbomb.tv. Please just give us one of those cool codes so we can be like, hey, use our code and get 20 days free, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm begging.
Or just let us have it for free and we'll promote the shit out
Yeah,
of
I'm
it.
okay with that too.
Yeah.
Because
my wife's always like, what's all these wrestling things that every month on the credit card? It's like,
Yeah.
it's only 3 of them.
I did watch a little bit of Women's Wrestling Revolution on Powerbomb TV while I was at Women's Wrestling Revolution.
Like
you were watching the
I was
event?
watching the
watched
show
the
that I
show
was
you were
at. I
at?
was looking at myself on my phone.
you could have just watched the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, it was
in
fun.
person.
No, this
I-
was in between matches.
I was on my couch and I saw you there.
Yeah, you texted
I was
me.
watching you, watching
That was
you.
a Beyond.
No,
That was
yeah.
that was the Women's Wrestling.
It was probably Beyond too, because I usually stand
Beyond
in the
had
same fucking
the
spot.
it was Beyond was the
right
opener
in the middle
for that
by
show.
the door.
Oh, I figure if I continue to stand in that spot for every show, I can
It
become the
legally
new hat
becomes
guy
yours.
from ECW.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I can be beard guy. I don't know. Anyone want to be a fan of me? Hey, we hit 100
Anyone?
followed on Twitter.
Oh,
that
was
was pretty cool.
Who was our 100th follower? Give him a shout out.
I will, but I'm really bad at his name.
Well, before you do that, did you see?
I'm only 11 away from 69, just so I can giggle.
Giggity.
This is the second 69 joke I've had this episode.
At
Continue.
Final Battle from Ring of Honor, they announced that they will have a Women of Honor
Oh, championship.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
that they're gonna start a tournament. I think the beginning, around the end of the first week of January, I think is when that the whole thing starts, and it's gonna be
They have
it's
some...
gonna be finished at next year's Final Battle, I believe.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think it's gonna go all year.
Oh, super cool.
Pretty much.
They
But they're gonna start it like January 8th or something like that. Is when
I'm very
it's gonna kick
happy
off.
that Ring of Honor is that they have, their own women's promotion, because I think women's wrestling at this point it's not like a weird thing anymore. We've had this discussion. It's episode 1. Not the Phantom Menace, just of our show.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
Boo, there's
Wizard
not enough
Annie.
Jar Jar Binks in that one.
Let me get that bat. No, but
I loved when they revealed that that Snoke was actually Jar Jar Binks the entire time.
Darth
it was
Binks.
crazy.
Darth
So, Darth Binks. You haven't heard that?
Yeah, you haven't
conspiracy?
seen Last Jedi yet?
No.
Yeah, it's all Jar Jar Binks. The entire thing.
Like, everyone is Jar Jar Binks. It's all in Jar Jar Binks' mind. And then he wakes up and goes, Misa had a dream. And you're like, fuck yes, you did have a dream, Jar Jar Binks. And we love you for
It
it.
is a fever dream. He had malaria.
Malaria the whole time.
What were you saying about?
He wakes up to Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi, like, standing over him because he actually got hit by that tank in Phantom Menace. And it was all just a dream. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. And it starts over.
We still have things to talk about. Let's move on from this.
What the
sorry.
fuck are you talking
We don't
about?
have time for that right now. I'm going to have to cut you off there, Scott Perkins. Who was our 100th follower for the show?
I want to say his name's Alan. Honestly, it's funny. He's a dude that I've seen at Beyond shows all the time.
Shout out to the dude.
Flannel.
It's
Wearing a
Alan
beard.
Schmallen. It's not that hard. It's Alan Schmallen.
Shout out to Alan Schmallen.
Yeah, your name's
Lunch.
High Voltage? 1987? Is that your birth
1987.
name?
That's his real
Fuck off.
name. You guys are killing everything for me.
So anyways,
You're pulling back too many curtains today.
So yeah, Alan Schmallen from PVD. I'm assuming that's Providence.
Yeah.
I think that's the airport code. Do you live at the airport? Remember that Tom Hanks movie where he lived at the airport?
I thought that was that Tom Hanks? I
Yeah,
thought that
it was Tom
fucking
Hanks,
Leo.
right?
No, it was Tom Hanks.
Oh no, Leo was the one that was running away.
Leo was the
through
one on the
airports.
boat that was sinking.
Yep.
Near, far.
Fucking What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Fantastic movie.
Hey, moving on.
John C. Riley.
Thanks for hitting
man.
100 followers. To
Yes.
anyone who actually pays attention, I actually want to shout. I want to shout out to one of our first followers.
Me.
No, dude named Jim Baker.
Trash can.
I met this dude at an LPW show.
Got your back,
and if he's
trash
actually
can.
listening to the show, he just kind of started following us, and it was pretty cool. So we did hit 100. So at some point, someone is going to get a free Blade Job T-shirt.
They're
Me.
super comfortable.
They're super soft.
you
Ask
already
Dave
got
Cole.
your free one.
Oh.
Yeah, Dave Cole has one.
I tried to give
What's up,
some away
Dave?
at Chaotic, but I couldn't find the people I wanted to give them to, so it didn't happen.
They're in a heated battle.
Yeah, moving on. So, last but not least, something you were talking about.
My 69th follower.
No. So past couple of days,
Grow
there's
up.
been a lot of conversation about
No, it's a sexual thing.
intergender wrestling, and how some people think that it promotes domestic violence, and how those people are wrong. Because at the end of the day, these men and women are all professional wrestlers. I believe that WWE's new mixed match challenge, or whatever the fuck they're calling it, should be intergender rules, not because I support men beating up women, because they're fucking professionals and they're professional wrestlers, and that's what they do, is they wrestle. Go on YouTube, go to Beyond Wrestling's YouTube page, just because, Beyond Wrestling, that's all I talk about half the time. Go watch every intergender match they have on there and tell me that it's just some dude beating up a chick.
Well, do you think that WWE might blur those lines a little because it's just internet only, right? Isn't it through Facebook?
So
It's not.
It is through Facebook, which is fucking stupid.
Right, but since it's
there's
not
this
that-
weird thing they have, this network of some sort. Whatever.
USA Network.
Yeah, the USA Network.
Yeah. Raw is
So
on there.
and NXT
TNN.
now.
And
Fuck
NXT.
that. So at the end of the day,
Sci-fi.
I have heard that they are.
Spike.
Stop! Whoever's moving the table, I'm going to murder you.
I'm ready to hear it.
At the end of the day, I've heard that WWE has been testing intergender matches at house shows.
Oh.
They did it on SmackDown a couple of months ago with Becky Lynch and James Ellsworth. Not really an intergender
Oh yeah,
match.
what happened with that?
She just kind of beat him up and then it was over.
Did he get any offense in?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
He wrestled for the WWE.
He wrestled AJ fucking Styles multiple times for the WWE Championship.
He also won the first women's
Money in the Bank. Because,
Trendsetter.
yeah, pretty much.
Trailblazers.
I'm not going to
Portland.
stand on my soapbox because I've been doing that enough on Twitter, except I will say there's
Ceiling's kinda
nothing wrong with intergender
Graduation
wrestling.
for standing.
There, at the end of the day, guys, it's all a show. It's a dance. It's all smoke and mirrors. No one is beating up anyone other than, sometimes people get hit and because it's a rough dance, but it's still a dance.
It's all a carny sideshow.
It's like crumping.
Carny sideshow.
It's like crumping.
It's like Krampus. Krampus.
It's a rough dance.
But
yeah, I mean, it's like if you're watching a movie and
it's like Stomp.
Let's take the greatest movie franchise of all time, Fast and the Furious.
Die Hard.
Michelle Rodriguez fights dudes, and sometimes she gets hit. Is that, promoting domestic violence? No, that's pretend. And guess what? Chris Dickinson fucking German suplexing Jordan Grace. It's pretend.
Or Pazuzu bombing fucking Kimberly
that just
into.
Looks like it fucking hurt.
Dude, that chair shot that went viral before
the internet.
Like that chair shot to Kimberly was brutal. But Kimberly is a fucking professional wrestler.
Correct.
Yeah.
Chris Dickinson didn't show up and say, I'm going to hit you with a chair. No, she said probably like, hey, give me a chair shot.
What if we did this? Right. And it's not like it generally, almost always two wrestlers get together and say, hey, one of them will say, how do you feel about this? The other one will say, I like it, or I don't like it. And if they say, I don't like it, guess what? They're not going to fucking do that spot. It's like, it's mutually agreed upon.
Yeah. The simple fact of the matter is, like we said, it's a show. It's entertainment. If you are uncomfortable by intergender wrestling, that is, I understand. I really do. And maybe you've been part of domestic violence in the past. Maybe it does make you uncomfortable. And for that, you know what? That sucks. I'm sorry, because this is a shitty world we live in, unfortunately. A lot of people do a lot of shitty things, but at the end of the day, this is an agreed upon situation between 2, 3, 4, whatever kind of match it is, adults.
2, 3, 4 consenting adults.
Yeah. And they're doing their job. They're getting paid to do their job. So actually, going off topic but along the same thing, there's a game coming out for PS4 called Detroit Becoming Human, and it's a game by Quantic Dream, I believe.
That sounds like a RoboCop
Heavy Rain
game.
Yeah, Heavy Rain, all that shit. Yeah, so it's actually about it's about blurring that line, synthetic, like artificial intelligence. When do they become a living thing?
They did that in Fallout 4.
And there's a scene that they just showed in a recent gameplay
trailer.
It wasn't a trailer. It was a demonstration.
Yeah.
And it showed a graphic scene showing domestic violence, and everyone jumped on there. So it was like, oh, this game supports the abuse of women, and the writer and the director and the creator of the game went on record saying, like, no, this is a game, this is art. I'm trying to show you how bad this is, because I've had the shit kicked out of me before. This is real life. I'm not, I'm trying to show something that people should be more aware of. I'm trying to show how bad it really is. But if that happens in a movie, like you said, oh, no big deal. It's just a movie.
Yeah.
Professional wrestling is a live action.
It's
a
live
live movie. It's a live theater. It's a Shakespearean play. It's got 3 acts. It's a center stage. It interacts with the audience. It is actually a textbook Shakespearean play.
It's the same thing as going to your kid's fucking Christmas pageant.
Did your daughter hit someone with a chair?
Probably.
My daughter's terrifying.
Did she have a barbed wire match at the school?
Speaking of my daughter,
it was weird. Cop showed up. The school's closed now.
I have a court date next month. No, speaking of my daughter,
visitation rights,
and the intergender tournament nonsense, Bailey and Goldust are going to be a team.
That's fucking weird.
I'm so excited, and I want them to win. Cause
they're just going to hug everybody.
Because Goldust
is... I almost just said some words I would probably be unhappy about.
Dustin Runnels, in my opinion, is the most underrated wrestler of all time.
Goldust has also, as a character, made a career out of dry humping people in the ring.
Yeah, hugging.
Yeah.
No. Dry humping.
Mommy and daddy hug.
Struggle snuggle.
Watching him dry hump The Undertaker and then kick him directly in the jimmies.
I like how we just say fucking shit and everything, but Jimmy's, that's your line, huh?
Testicles.
Oh, okay.
Balls.
Yeah, I mean, no.
Cojones.
Call it what you want, dude.
Grapefruits.
You want to call them
Huevos,
Jimmy's?
grapefruits.
That's
Yeah.
You
cool.
should see a doctor.
Vince McMahon. Genetic jackhammer right there. So,
I just, never mind. Go on, continue.
no,
Sorry.
I think we're done.
I'm not done.
We're done for this one.
So, fucking petition the WWE. Goldust needs
And
to
cut,
win the
thank you.
WWE Championship.
Thanks for
before
coming out,
he's done.
folks.
Goldust should have won the WWE
already cut.
Championship like 10 years ago.
He should have.
All right.
What is that noise?
That
the
is
heater.
the heating.
Your heater sucks.
Yeah, you suck.
My
house has
hydronic tube.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.